Hello, folks. This is Arlen Harrow here. I don't have an opening bit because I'm not as good as Connor. Uh, that's just a fact. We all know it. Calm down. I'm not a narcissist, or am I? So yeah, this is sort of a little mini after dark. We're gonna be talking about some trailers. Who's here with me?
Hunter Davenport, and I am being seduced by Mike Doherty, and I'm not going to submit to him.
He's been pulling that long game on
Yeah,
you,
I don't
Hunter.
like it. I'm uncomfortable.
And
And who else is
and
joining
I'm
us?
Lou Gonzalez, and these I'm kind of gaining a little bit of hope in Warner Brothers, and that hope scares me.
It scares me too.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that means now we'll just have to only be angry at Sony from now on, which is,
I know we can't even
Yeah.
have our Foxy because they'll be part of the machine.
yep.
They've become one.
God damn it. Okay, so yeah, first trailer we're gonna start with is Shazam, which came out sort of midway through the DC panel. This trailer's fucking great. It's really good. It's very enjoyable. I like the tone already. I like how they're tying it into the larger DC verse, but
Loosely,
there's a very clear shift. Yeah,
Yep.
there's
yeah.
colors in it.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
actual jokes that are funny.
I do like the way that they're tying
Yeah.
it in. I think maybe a couple of us have it playing in the background, but yeah, he's the Batarang. He has a Superman toy. He's got the newspapers. I do like that he's just rocking that red hoodie. Like it's such a little thing,
Yep.
but it's awesome.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
The joke with I don't think they said his name in the trailer, but the disabled boy was like, we're like, why are you so dark? You're a disabled foster boy. You have everything. Like that is such a different thing from what they've been doing.
hmm
Like it feels very, very different.
Well, it feels like
Yeah.
what the Flash was in Justice League, except it's a movie of
Yeah.
that tone instead of just like a character and everything else is like not that.
Yeah. Which is nice.
Who is playing the Wizard again?
Daimon Hansu, I
Oh,
want to
okay.
say is his name.
What's his name from
Yeah.
Blood Diamond Guardians?
Yeah.
The wizard looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very grumpy, which is pretty fun. Yeah. Say my name.
And I like the way I was a little apprehensive of Levi, but I think him doing an impression of a 12-year-old in an adult body is actually working in this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My only complaint is he does the Fortnite dance, and I hate that. I don't like it. It looks weird.
Yeah, but it'll just
Yeah.
date the movie a bit, which is good and bad, but it makes sense. The other thing is I like that we're only getting one member of the Marvel family, and we're not there's not 17 kids in this.
Yet.
That would be a bit much.
Yet. Where's Tawny though?
Yeah. Or Mary. I would think that Mary's the one that we'll see first because it's a girl.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Sylvanas apparently in this movie.
Yeah, that's Mark Strong's character.
Yeah.
Like we see, he throws a punch and he catches it. He says "Ooh, a supervillain" or something like that.
Yeah. It's pretty
Maybe
cool,
Mark Strong will get to play a supervillain in a movie for more than one film.
Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up. But no, that would be nice. Yeah, I don't know. Everything about this looks pretty great so far. Just the tone and the performances.
It's
I'm not worried,
Yeah,
which is a nice thing to say about a DC
it's
movie.
everything that Superman, Man of Steel, was not. In
Yes.
tone, color, attitude. It's the complete opposite side of the spectrum, which is what this character should be because it's a goddamn 12-year-old who turns into a magical Superman. You can't take this seriously at all. It has to be a complete joke.
Yes. it looks kind of trippy too. Like that the sequence on the train. You're like, it was like, it's really cool looking. Like the effect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that they ripped right from the comics. Like I know, at least in the New 52 version, which was the last time we got like a Shazam origin, really, that was exactly taken. And
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, because in that version, when the wizard brings him, he's like literally like, I have tried like 500 different people and they all suck. Like, why should I try you? And he's like, well, you try all these people who say that they're good. And like, I'm not saying I'm good. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying I try. And then that's how he convinces him to give him the powers.
Huh.
Interesting.
So I don't know if they'll do that, but it would be interesting because, like, in the comics, like, Billy is not like, he's a foster kid that's bounced around. Like, he is not a good kid. Like, he's not a bad kid. He's just like, he's a kid that's bounced around the system.
Like he's troubled.
Yeah. And I think he's I think his character's like, he literally has no memory. Like, he was just dropped off like at an orphanage, like in a basket or some shit like that.
R.I.P. I don't know. I feel like them doing this first, this trailer first before Aquaman is like such a tactical move.
Yeah, probably.
Look, we're learning. Like,
yeah, we are listening to what you're saying and actually listening, not kind of.
Yeah, I actually, when it popped up, I was at my wife's cousin's house, and they have a 13-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they were watching the trailer with me, and the 5-year-old was like, eyes were like so open. He was so about this.
wow.
Yeah.
Because
it answers a big complaint, which is like, these movies are for kids. I don't care if there are books out there that are made for adults. This is for kids.
Shazam, definitely.
You should make things kids can see.
This ain't like, I think I've said before, or I can't remember the last time when I was on with Deep Throat, and I even brought it up to him that like, they asked me, the like 13-year-olds were like, why are the DC films so dark? Like, they're just so grim and boring. Like, why can't they be happy? I was like, if a 13-year-old can see that, like, even littler, like, the kids that are going to be buying the toys and everything are going to notice that too. And parents might not bring them because they're dark and they're going to be killing. Like, I would doubt that there's...
Say, fuck Batman, dude. They can't watch that.
Like, I bet the body count in this, it has to be, like, minuscule, if not anybody dying at all.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't look like there's going to be, like, any death. Like, as far as
it should be like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
That's what it kind of feels like. Also, like, maybe there's a few guys getting thrown around. It
turns them out as
far as I can tell. Yeah,
throws them around a little bit.
Yeah, well, he, like in the trailer, you see he ties up the 2 guys in Christmas lights and throws them out the window, and he's like, "Sorry about your window, but I did stop a robbery." Like, just walks away eating a Twizzler.
It was so good, and like when he like looks at the girl, I did that. Like, it was...
You're bulletproof.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I think we've covered Shazam for the most part. Any, I guess, final thoughts on that one?
Oh, it looks good. I mean, I don't think there's really... I don't think it's going to be bad. Like, I think it's actually going to be a good movie. Like,
yeah, I'm excited for it, which is something I haven't said about a Warner Brothers movie ever.
Yeah.
Not in a long
time.
Not since before Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I was excited for Man of Steel.
I think all of us were.
I was so happy with the result, wasn't I?
Yeah, we all were. Were we? We were all ecstatic. Yeah. That movie came out and everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, John, are you here?
Can you not hear me?
You're very low, and
we can barely hear you.
Echo now that...
Speak up, John. John, you have to wake up.
How about that?
Yeah, you sound like Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann.
Walk into the light, Carrie Ann.
How about that?
There you go.
Good.
Now, for those listening, I will not be editing this out because fuck that.
Nope. Professionalism.
Editing what out?
Yep.
God damn it.
Oh, nothing. Okay, so we just talked about Shazam.
Hunter and John
Do
are-
either of you two want to give thoughts about it? Since you're here.
Yeah, just like quick thing is like I always kind of thought that Shazam like inherently is like this idea that's like this real like golden goose for DC. Like it's such an inherently cool idea about like a 10-year-old boy becoming Superman essentially. That it's like I don't understand like how it took him so long to do so, and then like watching the trailer for it, I'm like, this is perfect. Like this is
Okay,
great.
I'm glad you feel that way because I feel the exact same way.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I
It used
was
to be.
really into that trailer, and I saw a teaser first. By the way, Connor here. I'm back. I just narrowly made it out of work, and I'm devouring chicken wings as we speak. I still haven't finished Luke Cage, so
God damn it.
I was gonna sit happily and let you all talk to me about it. Half regular and half spicy. 4 and 4. The guy behind the counter offered me 4 more, but I was like, dude, you're trying to kill me. I saw the teaser first and didn't see a lot of the extra scenes that were in the actual trailer. And liked the teaser, and then saw the trailer almost immediately afterwards and was like, oh, I'm in love with this.
It's pretty fucking good.
The one thing I'm like super excited for is like so in the trailer you see Dr. Sivana and it looks like he's gonna be like the main villain for the movie. And I'm hoping that the rest of like the really goofy like Monster Society of Evil characters show up. Like my dream is like I want Mr. Mind so bad. Like,
okay, here's one thing about this movie. If Black Adam isn't in the post credits, I'm gonna laugh my tits off. Because that means The Rock has been sitting on this role for God knows how long, and just no movie has materialized.
Yeah. Oh, just to tag what John was saying, I just remembered because they did a TV show back in the 70s for Shazam.
Yeah, they did.
74, and I remember it because my dad watched it, and they had like all this stuff, and it was a like Saturday morning children's kind of TV show like Batman.
Except he killed the fuck out of people.
Yeah. Who, Batman or Shazam?
He turns a gun at someone.
Are you talking about the show starring TV's Michael Gray?
Yes, exactly. He played Billy Baston. Do you know that from Archer?
Yeah.
Archer, the connecting fiber to the entire universe. Okay. Any final thoughts, I guess, on Shazam before we move on to Aquaman?
I think it's a little unfortunate that they won't have a character named Isis in that movie.
Technically, that character is on Legends.
Is she?
Right, but she'll never be called Isis on screen.
Yeah, they used her.
Yeah. Yeah.
They Shazammed her?
Yeah, she has a
God damn
totem, and she has wind powers.
Yeah, she was one of the totem powers, or one of the totem users.
Alright.
Yeah.
What if like every time they said her name, it was like with a C, Isis with a C.
Ice is.
Or they've been in time so long.
It's spelled like ice is.
Or they just say Isis.
They just throw a Y in front of it. No, it's the ISIS.
Her name's Isis, guys.
They just start calling her double S. That's not better though.
It's not.
Finally.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Aquaman because oh my
god, the colors.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Uh,
And Boba Fett, or not? Is it Boba Fett? No, Jango Fett. But still, he's cool.
I think it's
In this,
Where was
as
Jango
the
Fett in this
dad.
movie?
He's
the dad. He's-
Arthur Curry's
Aquaman's pops?
senior.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's the guy in the truck. He's the guy at the lighthouse. Yeah.
I didn't recognize him.
I didn't
You barely
either
see-
until I remember that he.
You barely see
yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Fair.
it's only a couple little shots, but like, still, it's cool that they cast him.
Yeah,
So.
he's
I will say, as far as the Shazam and Aquaman trailers go, like, props to Warner Brothers for possibly, maybe, potentially, hopefully, I want to believe them getting their shit together.
It's
Yeah.
immediately like I was like freaking out in the chat because like there's no heavily filtered colors. And, like
Mm-hmm.
It's not in sepia.
This movie looks an awful lot like Justice League.
Yeah,
It does.
Where it's like it originally had like a lot darker colors to it, and then they were like put like a paintbrush over it, and so it kind of has like this weird neon tint to everything.
see,
But I
Yeah,
like it
I can
because,
totally
like,
see
you can
that.
you can go scuba diving somewhere and see that exact color palette.
Yes.
the
That's
one
true.
thing that
Sure.
scared me with the colors and stuff, like watching the trailer in the background, is it's very Avatar-y looking, or like even.
In Warcraft a
And
little bit.
I also got a very bad episode 1 vibe.
I think you're gonna get that with anything that's all CG.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You're gonna get that with Tron. You're gonna get that with you just name off movies where it was all CG. Like, there's always gonna be that little disconnect. I
Like,
think.
I'm not comparing the two at all. Like, I'm not saying that this movie's gonna have the same quality, but like, I like watching this movie. Like, I had like a really bad like Green Lantern vibe from it.
Oh yeah, that's again the CG. It's a lot of CG.
Oh.
It's definitely CG.
Yeah. I think it is. It's the
there-
CG and it's
I think that an overuse of CGI is not mutually exclusive to bad quality, because
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
I am and when Speed Racer came out, I was like, I'm not watching this trash, and everyone I know is like, dude, Speed Racer's good. I'm like,
Yeah, apparently.
"Ah!" Like-
I mean, if we think about it, like, so the most widely liked movie in this whole DC verse so far is Wonder Woman, and a lot of that no man's land scene is CGI, except for I guess the ground. So like it can work. I think in context is probably my
I'm
catchphrase.
I'm
at this
okay
point,
with
but,
lots
like,
of CGI unless it be, like someone mentioned Star Wars. Episode 1, 2, and 3, 2 and 3 especially for some reason, look like dog shit now, because you can
mhm.
look at two people talking and go, nothing around them is real.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looks
Yep.
like, especially
Yep.
now, it looks like a flat background. It looks like a pre-rendered shot from like a Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
It's a PS2 graphics.
Yeah, it looks like a flat background. How else are you gonna?
I'm gonna have two people walk in this direction and then turn around and walk in this direction, but continue the same conversation. Fucking hate that scene.
The other thing that scares me is what we were talking about before, Arlen, and like you said, looks like there's like 5 different plots in this movie.
I saw someone in our chat say like it's really hard to make Black Manta look impressive on screen, but he
But,
looks
yeah, that's
impressive
the
on
thing.
screen.
Well, so who are the 3 villains? So you got like Ocean Master, and then you
Yeah,
got
Black Manta.
Black
Manta.
Manta.
In the
And there's-
drift.
There's somebody else.
No,
Okay.
in the
I
in the
thought you were. I thought you were going to say that the third enemy was his inner demons.
oh,
It's his alcoholism.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember what they're called, but in the current
Also, the Joker's
run,
in this movie somewhere.
yes. But which one?
They're they're basically like those villains from like that first Jeff Johns book, right?
Yeah, they've been using them in Rebirth. They're like Atlanteans that are starting to devolve and become more. Yeah, they're called
Oh
like
wait, hold on. Wait, they're like fucking like Lovecratian fishmen.
yes. Yes,
That's
basically.
kind of awesome.
And that's how like they currently explain like a King Shark. Like
Okay.
King Shark is like one of those guys. They keep changing what King Shark is, but currently that's what he is.
Look, King Shark is a street shark. That's what he is the rest of
Yes.
my life.
That's what he'll be.
That's what he'll, and he's still one of my favorite villain appearances on Flash. Like every episode
Yes.
with King Shark is great. I think Black
don't
Manta
think so.
is. I think Black Manta is the Harvey Dent of this movie. I think he's going to not show up in that helmet until the last act and probably survive and go on to the next movie.
I think that he's going to be. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's an echo. Um,
Wow.
You just excuse yourself for yourself.
oh,
That's a level
well,
of politeness I've never seen before.
exactly. I'm that level. I think that Black Manta will be in the beginning, and we'll see the kind of origin of him when Arthur flips the fuck out after his dad is killed, and then I don't think we'll see him till like the end of the second act. And I think he's going to be basically an agent of Orm, like an assassin, to try to kill Arthur so he doesn't take the throne. Basically, the same thing that he is in the animated thing. Like he's going to be that. In the was it like Atlantis or whatever they made a couple years ago?
Atlantis.
Yeah, he's going to be an assassin.
Also a great abridged movie by DC by Young Justice Abridged.
Yes. If only in this movie he has auto-tune.
That might be my favorite thing about the DC abridged stuff is auto-tune Black Manta.
I love that when he takes it off. He
I'm
talks
gonna
normal.
fuck your shit up, boy.
God damn it.
Anyway,
Okay.
I've come to
Yes,
derail
yes, you
the show.
have. God damn it. Yeah, no, like this trailer looks cool. I guess I like Black Manta. I don't know exactly what his thing will be, but yeah, I'm excited because I think I was the one that said like that design. I don't know how you make that work on screen.
I think
Well,
everybody said
I mean,
that.
you haven't really played Injustice 2, but like Black Manta is a playable character, and you can make Black Manta look even more
Right.
ridiculous
Yeah.
because he has several different kinds of helmets you can give him and several different color schemes. And at some point, you can just make him look like an oblong submarine. Like,
Yeah.
he has a flying saucer
Right.
for a head.
yeah. But then like some of them are actually shaped like manta rays, and some of them are not quite so saucerish, but more like triangular.
Man.
So you can
I
turn him into
actually
a
like
head.
Black Manta. Not
Yeah,
sure.
I actually Injustice 2 is kind of the source of where I'm discovering DC characters that I actually might have more interest in, other than just like surface level interest. And Black Manta is one of them. I'm like, wow, he's cool.
He's a great design, like on a comic page, but his character story is like very surface level at best. Like he has really
Is
no
it?
depth.
He just wants to
Yeah.
kill Arthur, doesn't he?
Yeah, Arthur.
He has a revenge plot, doesn't he?
It's a double revenge plot.
Man,
So-
it's funny
Okay.
because I'm reading the fictional character biography of his character on Wikipedia, and man, it is some shit.
Yeah, I think
Like, okay, so here's like one of the more classic revisions of why he hates Aquaman. Like he's trying to get him. It is revealed that Black Man is actually black, who stated objectively at one point was for black people to dominate the ocean after being oppressed so long on dry land.
Wait.
Oh wow!
During most of his
wow.
appearances, his main goal is defeating Aquaman and gaining power for himself to conquer Atlantis.
Okay.
I don't
No,
think they're gonna do that.
I think
Yeah,
they're
I
gonna
don't
go
think
with
so
the father route.
I mean, like,
his dad was killed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I always remembered.
yeah. In recent things, it's that Arthur's father is killed, and he finds evidence of who did it, and goes to where it is, and then kills the guy who ends up being Black Manta's father. And it wasn't him that killed Arthur's dad; it was Black Manta. So it's a double murdering each other's father's plot.
Interesting.
Wow. Comic books
Yeah,
are rad,
comic books
guys.
not confusing
Yeah,
at all.
which-
It's kind of oddly Shakespearean. It's like I've killed your father. I've killed your father.
Which I don't want to like really kind of maybe delve into this too much, but I think it's like a little strange that so like within the last year on like DC television we have Black Lightning, and then we have Shazam, where one of his main villains is going to be a guy named Black Adam, and then now we have Black Manta. And it's just like this, like, man, comic books need some different like names for their ethnic supervillains.
What about Black Spider?
Black Spider.
Well, the
Like-
Black Lightning thing is all because of a deal with or an issue with Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is that okay? Is that why Black Vulcan is a thing?
Yes, the Black Vulcan was created
That's what I
for
thought.
that
Because
show.
like when Black Lightning was first coming out, I'm like, wait a second, hold on,
Super
because I didn't know
fast.
shit about Black Lightning. Yeah, I was like, is this the same fucker from the Super Friends?
Yes.
But
Yeah,
then I also remember like, he shows up in Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law, so I was like, no, he has to be solely a Hanna-Barbera property.
yeah, he was made for Super Friends, but then they were like, oh, we should make him a comic book character, and then Hanna-Barbera was like, go fuck yourself. So they're like, all right, instead of Vulcan, it's Lightning. He's Black Lightning now, and he's just gonna have like
Apache
a slightly
Chief is also a Hanna-Barbera.
yes.
Yeah,
Go
how
fuck
come
yourself.
Apache
He's
Chief?
gonna go hang out with
How
Droopy.
come, yeah, how come Apache Chief hasn't shown up in the DC comics?
I wonder
He's
why.
He's sort of in.
I think you answered your own question there, John.
Yeah.
They sort of do a version of him in Young Justice season 2.
Whoa,
There's like-
really?
Yeah, there's like a little Native American kid, and by little I mean teenager. And anytime he like falls asleep, he can like fall asleep and then gets like a aura of a giant Native American
What?
spirit around him that goes and beats the shit
That's
out of
great,
everything.
actually. That's so fucking dumb, but it's insensitive as hell. God damn it.
Yeah, him and Jaime Reyes run away together.
Him and Blue Beetle.
Yes, it's the two of them and like a non-named Static Shock. Those are like the three that
Okay.
are with each other.
Okay.
Young Justice season 2.
Man, the more I hear about Young Justice season 2, the more I feel like I have to finish season 1.
Okay,
Especially now that the trailer for Young Justice season 3 spoiled 2 major developments in season 2.
Yep.
yeah.
I'm okay with it
We're
though.
okay with it. Anyways, I guess any last things about this Aquaman trailer, because I think we mostly covered it. Unless there's something else that we're forgetting.
It looks fine. Like it definitely looks like the drugs are getting out of the DC system, and like this is like the last thralls of like that
Oh,
era
well,
of
yeah.
DC films, and then Shazam is like the
Mhm.
first step
Well,
in
it's
the new direction.
The people,
It's weird that in the Shazam trailer, like they did, like, because I really thought Shazam would take place very divorced from the
Mhm.
universally already established, but then almost right away they're like, nope, here's the Batarang, and here's this newspaper
I
about
feel like
Superman.
that's the minimal stuff that you would expect, though. Like, you expect a couple things in the background, but this one is very divorced so far. Like, I don't even think there's not even reference to Justice League. Like, the bubbles that they use to talk to each other are not present in this at all.
Oh yeah, thank God, because
They
that was
really
the
were.
dumbest thing
It
ever.
was really
That was
bad.
pretty stupid.
How would generations of like beings be able to communicate if they have to do that every single time?
Yeah.
Oh, I was specifically talking about Shazam having that stuff in the trailer, but like, yeah, there's none of that in Aquaman. Like, there's not even a mention of his activity during the Justice League movie. Which then, like, is this before or after?
I think this is after. I think that's what we're meant to assume.
Because if you're trying to maintain some level of continuity, like it almost makes more sense for this to happen before, because he goes down to Atlantis anyway and retrieves like a whole set of armor and a trident. What does he just go back and go, here, I don't need this anymore?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's both. Maybe he goes down there at some point and then like gets the
My
shit kicked out of him
understanding
and
was
bails.
that Mira gave him the armor, not that he necessarily went like all the way back to Atlantis, and that the cube was being held outside of Atlantis proper.
He does say he needs a
so
favor.
like, yeah, that was my thinking at least.
But that would all. In this movie, though, it looks like he's meeting Mira for the first time.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I have to assume
I
this is
don't
before
know.
Justice.
I mean, I guess I could see it as like they haven't spoken since then. Like that's the other problem. Like I don't remember how long Justice League takes place after BVS. I feel like it's like a year.
I would almost rather it that we just pretend that Justice League never existed. Never
I know, but like
Yeah.
if it's
Like
Superman's
Superman
back.
4.
He
If
never
it's
died.
like-
He's fine.
Yeah, but he came back with a brighter colored suit and like a cheerier
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah, he just went away for a while, and now he's
I
happy
don't know, I
again.
feel like it could be a while. Like Mira
rehab.
starts this whole thing about like you need to come back
Rehab.
in the movie. So I feel like this is just her continuing what she started in that movie. I haven't seen that movie since in theaters since we reviewed it, so like my memory is foggy.
Yeah,
I just saw it recently, like I was saying before. So yeah, she talks for like 2 seconds.
I still want to do a timeline episode about that movie and basically talk about all the shit that we found out
Yeah,
that was
we
going on
need to do
before and
that
after.
at some point. Okay, I think we're good on Aquaman, we will go to Godzilla. Again, unless anybody has any final thoughts.
Yeah.
Because Jesus Christ, this trailer.
On Aquaman. On Aquaman?
Hunter's about to fucking burst.
Yeah. We both have so many feelings.
Okay.
Many.
There's so much to unpack here. So I didn't actually think they were gonna do Mothra larva. And they are, which is awesome. I really like that.
I was not ready for the tone that this trailer took
No.
at all, because it seemed very I guess grand is the word, but like just the way the music was used with the imagery, I'm like, wow, you're really painting these things up like they're fucking gods.
They essentially are.
Like these aren't schlocky monsters like that. You're like, oh no, these are fucking divine beings who've been here long before us, and they will wipe us out.
Well, calling them Titans is like does that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's a cool comparison to like the fact that like they need to be freed from Tartarus, so to speak, or whatever hibernation they've been in.
Yeah, they're essentially like you see in the trailer, like they let them loose, but like Ghidorah isn't even really shown, and he's fucking menacing. Like,
but like here's the thing, like, and what I don't get is like they're like, oh, there's this disease that's ravaging the planet, and the only thing that we can like do to stop is unleash a giant fucking monster and a bunch of them and just have them fight, and now save this plague. And I'm like, did we like lose? Like we got like A plus whatever equals C, and I don't know what B equals.
So what I'm guessing that means.
What I'm gathering is that Vera Farmiga's character is
she's the
fucking
bad guy.
insane, and thinks that letting these things out is the solution to mankind's problems. And I think that's why Millie Bobby Brown is like, you are a monster.
Like,
I'm guessing her thing is that there's overpopulation or something.
The message of the movie is about the environment, and like part of me thinks that she's talking about Ghidorah is going to get loose. Like maybe we should let all these other things free, because Ghidorah is like trapped in ice. Like,
yeah, what if this is like Primal Rage, where it's like she's like a descendant
stop trying to seduce me.
She's like a descendant of like a long line of like people who like worship King Ghidorah, and it's like, and this is her like backwards way of like trying to con people of like unleashing King Ghidorah to like be the rightful king of the universe.
In that case, I hope he fucking eats her. Just like
I hope so as well. I think that's what's gonna happen. Like, I think she's gonna get taken out.
She's like, oh, great King Ghidorah, and he's like, one of the heads just swallows her.
But no, like it looks like she's gonna start off as like the hero of the movie, and then she's gonna become more like Dr. Serizawa, only like go way too far. Because Serizawa's whole philosophy is that these monsters are here to protect us. It seems like her thing is they're to protect us from ourselves as well. So
and I like the way they treat Godzilla like a balance force, like, because he's not really shown until like there's something about the way they time his presence in the trailer that seems like to me like he's some kind of equalizer, like he's some kind of natural force who's there like, no, everybody calm the fuck down. Like
I mean, that's how Godzilla was in the last film, where he beats like those two monsters, and then he just like basically looks back and gives a thumbs up, and he goes back in the ocean.
Yeah, that's why I loved about it, is that he's like he kind of just hangs out the whole film and doesn't show up until he's like, oh look, you woke up these two monsters that aren't supposed to be here, you dumbass humans. I'll take care of your mess.
Serizawa in the first film is like he said straight up, like, Godzilla is just, he doesn't care about humans. He's just trying to protect Earth. Like, he's just there to kind of balance out nature.
We're kind of a circumstantial thing in that department, because like we are still on this planet, and I don't think it would probably stand by to just let like some kind of global genocide happen.
Like, at most parts in that first movie, he doesn't really recognize. He just kind of walks. Like he just shows up and he's like, all right, I have to do this now. Like, so, I got to kill that thing.
I got to kill that thing by breathing down its throat.
Yeah, which is fucking so cool.
Doesn't he rip off one of the wings, or like both of the wings of one of them?
Yeah, and then he pales into a
He
building.
brutalizes those fucking mutons. Like he really fucks their shit up.
He crashes one into a building the way Logan gets crashed into a log. Like
I think he
uses- it's
plucks
so-
one
it's
out
so
of midair
brutal.
and just like fucking sticks it on some jagged metal like a shish kebab, and just
yes.
pushes down on it. I'm like,
It's
Jesus
so
Christ,
good.
man! I know you just woke up, but
Calm down. Whoa.
and
Yeah.
then he's like, I'm not done yet.
God, that movie is so,
So good.
boring. But like when it gets like great, it's like so good, and but like those moments only last like a couple seconds, and like I'm looking at Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer, I'm like, oh please, like let this be like as good as Shin Godzilla.
Okay.
Yeah, and I talked about it on one of our recent episodes that like it is very interesting that you hired a guy like Gareth Edwards who made a movie like Monsters, and this would be the third time I say this, but you're on the show now. He made a movie about monsters that doesn't feature monsters for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at what they've done and how it's affected the world. And that was a really weird choice for Godzilla because Godzilla is, I've said before, Godzilla is pro wrestling. Like it's
all about the spectacle.
it's big money main event spectacle, beatdowns.
Are you saying
And
that
the fact that,
Godzilla
like-
is John Cena?
Yes.
You know what?
He's got John Cena actually.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Hulk Hogan because I'm old, and Ghidorah is Andre the Giant.
I don't the whole not seeing Godzilla that much in the first movie doesn't bother me as much because I feel like it's such a I thought it was an interesting way to do it because it's like
It's endearing, like I've said, it's really endearing the first time you watch the movie, but on revisits you're going, hurry up.
Well, and it's not so bad
Yeah,
because Shin Godzilla
yeah.
also did the same thing where you didn't see Godzilla like very often, and like and you spent a lot of times with like the human characters, and like those human characters are really good, and like you want to see like them survive this, and then but the thing about like the first Godzilla movie with Gareth Edwards, it's just the Godzilla parts are cool, but they're very few and far between, and then the human parts outside of Bryan Cranston's character are just like
Yeah,
the dirt worst. They're so boring.
They took Bryan Cranston away from you way too early, and his exit, you're like, no, bring him back. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
he's not dead. What are you doing?
what do you mean he's dead? Like,
I think
like you're left with the Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, and they're like neither of them are very good in that movie.
that's a
I just put that together.
that's a that's a very common problem in Godzilla movies, and like it doesn't happen in all of them, but like
Yeah,
it feels like this is gonna be a thing
you're
that
almost
always
forced to be
exists.
left with some kind of surrogate pair of eyeballs to gawk at things.
Mhm.
But the problem with the and I've said this before, the 2014 Godzilla is that Aaron Taylor Johnson just gets like bounced off of certain things to take him to the next location where he can stare at Godzilla some more, seemingly in supernatural and impossible ways.
Yeah, and
He's
again,
like,
I like
I'm
the
on a
movie,
train
but,
now.
like-
The train has crashed. I'm in the water. Now I'm on a boat with soldiers.
I like the movie, but I understand the criticism of it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love the first Godzilla, but like I can totally agree with people who go, yeah, it's a little dull for about an hour. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've said many times like that hour should be like half an hour.
It'd be like 45 minutes at most.
Yeah, and like they should focus way more on Serizawa
Yes.
because he's
Most
like
interesting part of that movie.
yeah,
Like,
he's
I know
100 times
in-
more compelling.
Like Dark Knight Rises holds Batman from you for about 30, 40 minutes,
Mhm.
and then doesn't give him back to you for the last 20. Really,
Mm-hmm.
But
which
this,
would have worked a lot better if Batman stuck around for the rest of the film. It's fine, like keeping the prize away from me for a little bit, but in certain situations it doesn't like work that well. I think it worked well the first time I saw Godzilla, but then like I said, in repeat viewings, I'm just sitting there going, "Oh, Bryan Cranston, yay!
I think this movie.
My
is
family
definitely-
died down there." I'm sorry.
This movie is definitely gonna be different though because they have 3 monsters and supposedly more monsters.
Yeah, and I'm also
Yeah.
loving the use of the color blue.
Yes.
Yep.
Everything's very cold looking.
Yeah, it definitely adds something to it. Like this movie has a very strong aesthetic feel to it, and something that I like that they're keeping from the first movie is that sense of scale. Like you really get a sense of like what these things are.
Man,
in
Godzilla's a
comparison
thick
to each
boy.
other.
He's very
Mhm.
big.
He's a
when they first showed off Godzilla on Twitter, they're like, Godzilla has risen. Like, see the trailer on Saturday, and I was like, man, Godzilla sure has risen because he's looking a bit doughy here.
He's a big boy. I
He's,
hear
he's got
apparently the Japanese call him I guess endearingly call him Bear Godzilla
Yeah,
because
God
he's
damn it.
framed like a fucking bear. Like
that is like I mentioned this in a group chat. That is part of the design. They were like, well, we put some bear aspects on him, like he's in his shoulders and his like his face.
Yeah, I was.
that's
saying
really
as well.
that's really cool because I didn't even make the
Yeah.
connection until my coworker said that to me today because he just blasted through like every Godzilla movie in creation.
Damn.
Yeah, like he's been doing it since I started working there like a year ago. And he's been
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's
That's
the
my boy.
library. So he gets them one by one by one by one by one by one.
Ah.
Yeah. And he told me today they call him Bear Godzilla, and I know they don't think too kindly of the Zilla
No,
from 2000.
No,
call
they
him a
don't.
tuna head.
It's so fucking pedestrian, but really funny for some reason.
Yeah,
I guess in one of the
Final Wars,
movies,
they call him
he,
tuna head. It's
yeah,
funny.
in one of the movies, I guess like someone said, like my coworker told me this today, and someone was like, in one of the movies, someone goes, wasn't there a Godzilla in America? It was like we haven't seen Godzilla since 1951 or something like that, and someone was like, but did he show it America? And one of them goes, that wasn't Godzilla.
Yes, that's really
It's
awesome.
awesome.
But yeah, I'm really excited for this movie for obvious reasons because of who I am as a person.
I think it's interesting.
Same.
They're gonna go from Godzilla to Kong to a fucking battle royale to then a one-on-one.
I think Kong vs. Godzilla is also going to be a battle royale.
There is
Like,
definitely
Are
another
they gonna?
monster.
They're gonna start off as.
They built up both Kong and Godzilla as like pretty neutral forces, and Kong is mostly good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why they'll do it, where
yeah.
they're gonna start fighting each other, and then it's gonna turn into a buddy cop movie where they're just
Yes.
fighting everything
Mhm.
else.
I do want to
totally.
say,
Shut up and give it to me.
I am going to say this.
Godzilla is a rogue cop who can't be stopped.
And King Kong is the.
And so they bring
Kong is the
King,
old.
yeah,
King Kong is the old cop ready to retire.
Yeah,
I
they
do
bring
wanna
in
say
King
this.
Kong because he plays by the books.
I do want to say this live on the air before Kong vs. Godzilla comes out. There is no way that there's not another monster in that movie.
No, Ghidorah's in that movie as well. Like he
I'm
comes
guessing
back.
it's either
Like,
Ghidorah or something else. Like,
I think I mean, here's the thing. The problem with Kong is, unlike Godzilla, he doesn't have like a roster of established villains.
there's Mecha
Which
King
is-
Kong.
Well, yeah, but like, oh god, if they
As we
did,
said, he
They
doesn't have an established roster of villains.
Well, if
yeah,
they
like,
did a tag team match of Godzilla and King Kong versus their mecha duos,
Oh shit!
I was actually
oh.
gonna say, like, what if in the interim they're like, well, we built like some kind of mech to take care of Godzilla should he go
And it's
go
Jaguar.
rogue or something, and the fucking mech goes rogue or something like that, and then Godzilla and King Kong have to fight this giant fucking robot.
Fuck. It'll probably be Mogura.
I'm- God damn it! I'm so into that.
or
but-
after this
yeah.
movie, after say Ghidorah dies, they go and they rebuild it to make it better.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mecha Ghidorah? Wait,
Yes.
what is it?
I mean,
there's a
Ghidorah.
I know there's
multiple
a-
Mecha Ghidorahs.
yeah, there's a version of there's various versions of Ghidorah, correct?
Yeah, I know that
Mhm.
there was a mecha Ghidorah, and it has one of the heads is robotic.
Yes.
He has a metal body.
Yeah, and like it's like armor and stuff, and then there's Kaiser Ghidorah, which is a whole nother thing that we
Kaiser
can't go
Ghidorah is
into.
the Guyver, Connor, but he just
Yep.
like, transforms into regular Ghidorah. It's sick.
Yeah, a
Whoa.
dude transforms
Yeah.
into him, and then he transforms into Ghidorah.
It's so cool.
He has
what
a
about,
final form.
What about Gigan and stuff like that?
Gigan, I don't think we're gonna see for a while because
No,
He's
yeah.
such a like, he's an important character, but like, he also requires a lot of build-up because
He's also an alien.
yes,
He's also my favorite of like next to King Ghidorah. He's my favorite because he has giant hook hands.
yes,
He does.
he's
His
pretty
design is
cool.
so hilariously impractical because he's just like he's covered in pointy stuff.
Well, like one of them, he has like
And
in
it's
Final
got-
Wars, he has saws.
And he has a Cyclops visor.
Yeah,
he has,
and,
he has laser vision. I might be
Yeah.
crazy, but I think he might have laser vision.
I think he does as well, because he's in. What else is he in? I think he's in
Final Word.
Ultraman at some point.
I
Also.
think he is too, and I'm bummed that I'm never going to see any Ultraman characters on screen because I guess the rights for that are a nightmare.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that is.
Yeah.
You will probably see them in the Toho movies though.
But yeah, if they do Aliens at some point, we'll get probably like 2 Gaigans, or like maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll form a Mega Gaigan or something like
And a
that.
Space Godzilla, definitely.
I like the fact that I really appreciate that they held off on any recognizable monsters until now, and they kind of gave us these disposable, flying whatchamacallits from the first Godzilla because they're really indistinct. Like there's nothing special about them.
They also stand in really well with like the rest of the monsters because they're like they're a design you've never really seen before in Toho.
Yeah,
They're weird. They're kind of like they're kind of boxy.
Yeah,
like they're rectangular.
They are, but at the same time, like I mean, Lascola was like he had like a post about like how much the Mutos remind him of Gigan, and as we were like just talking about it and all the little details, and I was like, you could, and this is part of why I got really excited back when the trailers came out for that first one. It's like there are moments in that where you're like, oh, that could be Mothra or Batra, or that could be anything. So like they made monsters that without seeing much of them, you could confuse them for any of the many different monsters.
They're nice placeholders because, like I said, they're not very detailed, but at the same time, their design completely works for that movie because, like, it's Godzilla's first appearance in this new series, and he just needs some scrubs to beat up.
He just needs to kill something.
Yeah, it's like you just need something where he can wreck its shit and then go back into the ocean, and so it looks believable.
It was a tune-up match.
Exactly. It was a
Brooklyn Brawler.
It was a Braun Strowman 1-on-3 handicap match, squash match to establish his dominance over the roster.
They just get a bunch of local wrestlers. They're like, just beat the shit out of these guys.
See, Godzilla is pro wrestling.
Godzilla's the Brock Lesnar of the monsters.
God damn it!
You're not wrong.
He's not wrong.
All right.
Or John Cena. No, King Kong. Wait, who did we say was John Cena?
I think King Kong is John Cena.
Godzilla is definitely John Cena in the Toho movies because he always wins.
Yeah. Hey, well, hold up. John Cena loses a whole lot now.
Yeah,
because he's old and he's starting to bald.
40.
Like he's balding like a monkey's butt.
He's
like
40 and also he won't marry Nikki Bella.
He will not. Somebody at work was talking to me about it today. She was like, "Do you think their relationship is real?" And I just started laughing at her.
Yeah,
no, it's not real. Sorry.
I was like, "No, Tracy, it's completely staged."
My wife watches their show, so yeah.
And I even asked her. I was like, "Tracy, do you watch Total Bellas?" She goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, there you go. It's not real." I was like, Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella are totally married in real life, and the reason why you can believe that is because Daniel Bryan is a short vegan who doesn't own a TV, who, by the way, shakes your hand like he's never shaken someone's hand in his life.
They also have a baby.
Yes, like they're a real couple. John Cena and Nikki Bella are not. Who is the Nikki Bella of the Godzilla universe? Is it Mothra?
I guess, yeah.
We got to put some big old fake breasts on her, and then we'll call it a day.
God damn it.
Well, it is a Japanese character, so.
just giving it just makes sense.
I'm sure if you Googled the right keywords, that would come up.
No, thank you.
Okay.
I
think
am
this is
not Googling Mothra with boobs. Yeah, Eric's not here to have looked this up 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good place to end our little trailer reaction AD before we do some other stuff. So yeah, I guess real quick plugs so we can get out of here quickly.
Hey, I've been Conor McGraw. I came in halfway through. Hi.
Yep.
Guyver episode for Movie Dumpster should be out soon.
Yep. AA Haro and all the places. Lost Haro podcast every Friday. You know where to find it.
Hunter Davenport. Don't follow me anywhere. Also, if you're in the Church of Davenport and you see me in public, come and see me. I totally love those interactions. I forgot to say it on the last episode. That was I had a really weird interaction with someone I work with who's apparently in the group.
Fuck up.
No, it's true. And he was like, He was like, dude, I'm in your church, and I had to think about it for like 3 minutes. Like, what? Yeah, that's my life.
It's like me. Like I've run into a singular listener of the Phantom Zone in Las Vegas, which was like mind blowing to me because it was the first like 8 months of us doing this. But that is a whole different level because that is an in joke that went on for way too long, and now refuses to die.
It's like it's really weird. I don't know. It's scary.
John, to explain this real quick, like I don't know how this happened, but Hunter developed some weird cult following in like the comedy button?
Yeah.
Comedy button. I was there for that.
You were? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I bailed in that place real quick, so I don't know who knows what.
Oh no, I'm still in the comedy button.
Yeah.
I like the comedy button. Like I wasn't aware that was a controversial thing to say.
No, it's not a controversial thing
not.
to say. It's just like
we were very much over that place. I was over.
You must have a much higher tolerance for bullshit than the rest of us. This is plugs. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Should I go next or John?
You. What? Why not?
Okay. Smallville Chronicles every Wednesday with me and Alan Muir. The next episode features the kid that played Iceman in the original X-Men trilogy. Ta-da.
And I'm John Seiler. I helped out actually yesterday with Defy Wrestling, setting up the ring and stuff. So if you want to go see that event, it's Spore versus Ares 2, where Shane Strickland versus Austin Aries for the Defy Championship. I am also working Otakon in Washington D.C. August 12th through the 10th.
Wait, what?
Yeah, not Otakon. Otakon. There we go. Otakon.
Got him.
Yeah. I'll be working Otakon in Washington D.C. from August 10th through the 12th for the Faku booth. So if you're in town, come see me there.
I'm in town. Where is
Cool.
this? And send me so I can figure out if I can meet you.
It's at the Washington
Convention Center. Yeah, I was just there because they had the All-Star Game stuff. I went to that. It was pretty awesome.
Cool. And then you can find me on Twitter at John_FN_Seiler.
Is that everybody?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
For anybody else who needs an extra bit of promotion for that wrestling show that he's working, that's some fucking talent that he just rambled off there. So if you're in the area and you listen to the show and you don't know about that show, fucking go to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk. So the next show that they do in Seattle, which is August 10th, and I'm so upset that I can't go because I have to go and work this convention, which I assume will be just as fun. But at the show in Seattle is Volter will be there, Mustache Mountain will be there, Pete Dune will be there, Jimmy Havoc will be there. The show I watched last night had
Mustache Mountain?
It's a tag team.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
It's
a pretty good name.
And the team, on the show I saw last night had Ray Horace versus Ray Phoenix, and it was awesome.
Arlen, this is the good wrestling. This isn't WWE or anything like that. This is fucking hungry ass dudes with talent coming at every pore of their body.
Right.
Who just put on barn burners whenever they can. Austin Aries in particular is fucking incredible. I haven't seen too many Shane Strickland matches yet, but I hear he's incredible too.
Yeah, he's not bad. My favorite match of the night that I saw was Joey Ryan teamed up with this guy named Randy Myers, who is awesome. I loved.
Isn't Joey Ryan the guy who fights you with his dick?
Yes. Okay, Arlen. Joey Ryan is a character who has a move called the penis plex. And what he does is he somehow hypnotizes people into grabbing his dick, and his dick is so powerful that they can't let go, and then he flips them with his dick.
No, it's like a thing where they think they're so powerful that they can grab his dick and overpower him, but they can't.
The power of Joey Ryan's dick is too much.
Wow, this is mildly pornographic, and I can't believe how much I'm okay, yeah, that's interesting.
It's something that fucking infuriates old wrestlers because they're like, you're shattering the illusion, you're exposing the business. But most younger people are like, dude, it's fake to begin with. There's no reason why you can't have hokey magical bullshit.
The business,
Joey
the illusion
Ryan
has been
also,
shattered for years now.
Yeah,
Joey
go
Ryan,
ahead, John.
Joey Ryan also has a blow pop in his mouth as he's walking in the ring, and he comes out to that song from Guardians of the Galaxy, the Pina Colada song. And
Okay.
he'll
Okay.
and he'll take his lollipop and like depending upon who like the most like wants it in the crowd, he'll put it into their mouth.
Oh god.
And then later in the match, he'll pull out one that's been in his pants the entire time, and then put it in the guy's mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Joey
Like,
Ryan-
I think for a while, like the only other time I've heard something like that was when Matt Hardy was doing his broken gimmick for a while. Like he walked up to some fan who was recording and took his phone and put it in his mouth, and while it's still recording, and then gave it back to him. It's a really weird visual.
Why?
Also, John Morrison is on a future card, and John Morrison's doing this thing, which I love, is that at any promotion he's at, he changes his last name. So at Defy, he's Johnny Defiance.
That's fantastic.
In Impact, he's Johnny Impact. In
Lucha
in
Underground,
Underground, he's Johnny Mundo. And
There
so
you
it's
go,
like,
Arlen.
and so like I think he's worked Progress before, and he's Johnny Progress.
That's incredible. I didn't know he was doing that all over the place. I just knew he was doing it for Impact and Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic way to get around using your name because no one can really license it because it changes all the goddamn time.
Mhm.
But hey, we're rambling on now, so let's close
Yep.
the show. Bye, everybody.
The wrestling
Bye.
podcast.
Adios.
Bye.